Clashes at the front door of Portland City Hall. Protesters are angry about police violence this weekend. They try to demand answers from the mayor.
And at one point, protesters shut down even the city council meeting. Our Lisa Balick was there from the start of it all. And Lisa, you even shot some of that video of the clashes there.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. Now, we knew protesters were going to be out here today. There's no question. In fact, I'm going to step out of the way. You can see a group still out here in front of City Hall. They're trying to get the mayor to respond to why police moved in on them last weekend, countering the Patriot Prayer rally. But today, we saw their anger boiling over. Dozens of people upset over being shut out of City Hall got into a brawl with security officers as they tried to get in and give Mayor Wheeler a message about police tactics during Saturday's protest.
Why was that force acceptable, that level of it? Why were we told to leave an area we had every right to be in? You're a fucking traitor. Fuck you, you're a fucking traitor. Fuck you, you're a fucking traitor. Fuck you, you're a fucking traitor. You're a fucking traitor. Oh, you better believe we fuck with you.
This is public property.
Right? And at the end of the motherfucking day,
Hey! What the fuck?
we want Wheeler to come out here and just directly address it.
Meanwhile, upstairs in City Hall chambers, frustrated protesters who were inside already tried to get the mayor's attention.
End police brutality! End police brutality!
The mayor and commissioners silently picked up their papers and left to go meet in another room, keeping the public out. Two protesters lay down outside that room. After several trespassing warnings, they were arrested.
We can climb over it real easy.
Downstairs, angry protesters demanding to see the mayor. Portland police officers were called as backup to building security. Protesters were moved out, fistfights broke out. A security guard hit in the head with a megaphone, another one injured on the arm. I saw several people exchanging blows as I shot video of the chaos as security tried to shut the doors, then locked down City Hall. This afternoon, the mayor and commissioners returned to the chambers for their meeting. The mayor making a comment about the chaos.
Whatever message you thought you were delivering today, it was completely lost in your senseless acts of violence against our city staff.
Protesters say they're not going to be leaving here. In fact, on and off this afternoon, they've been at the City Hall front door and have been asked to leave by Portland police. They say they still want to hear directly from the mayor about the actions of police over the weekend. They say they won't be leaving until they hear from him directly. Live in downtown Portland, Lisa Balick, KOIN 6 News.
This is the photo that's circulating on social media. It was first reported on the website Raw Story. The man says his helmet was hit by a flashbang fired by officers. Picture of a bike helmet with what appears to be a flashbang lodged in it is why David Mason and others showed up at City Hall. David was hoping to talk about police reform, but didn't get the chance.
It's disappointing, of course, but we'll make sure we get on the docket for next week.
Police reform wasn't on the city council agenda, but that didn't stop some from bringing it up.
Saturday, as a medic, I observed Portland police directly firing at the crowds.
A short time later, the council meeting quickly stopped when chanting broke out.
End police brutality! End police brutality!
Forcing council members to move to a different room.
I said end police brutality, spoke up and said that. We then began chanting, and then city council got up and walked out.
Rebecca Smith is part of another group calling for both police reform and an end to U.S. immigration and customs enforcement in Portland.
Why can't you step up, Portland, city councilor, Mayor Wheeler, and end your contract with ICE? It's very simple.
When the council meeting moved, things escalated quickly.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Two protesters laying in the hallway were arrested after they refused to leave. And at one point, the group protesting ICE blocked the entrance to City Hall, yelling on bullhorns.
Shame on you! Shame on you!
As officers forced the group out the door. Portland police say 2 City Hall security officers were assaulted. Despite what happened today, though, many plan to try to speak with the mayor again next week.
Be emailing the city and reaching out to make sure that we can facilitate some conversations about this, because it's important that we, move forward on this for the safety and protection of the residents of Portland.
As you can see, there are still a small group of ICE protesters outside of City Hall here tonight. I did reach out to the mayor, but he declined to comment. Back to you.
Violent clashes involving protesters and police on Saturday in Portland is raising questions about police tactics. At least 4 people were hurt, 4 were arrested in the confrontation involving the Patriot Prayer organization and anti-fascist groups.
And this afternoon, the police chief responded at a news conference to accusations of targeting the anti-fascist counter-protesters. Lisa Balick was at both events. She joins us now live this afternoon with more. Lisa?
Well, Chief of Police Danielle Outlaw calls it, quote, ridiculous to think that officers targeted one group over the other. She said their whole focus was on behavior that occurred right here, especially at Southwest Columbia and NATO on Saturday. Now, Outlaw says the Bureau is doing an investigation into police injuring people. Some of those confrontations caught on camera. Now, most of the physical interaction between anti-fascist groups and police came after police ordered them to get out of the street at Southwest Columbia and NATO here. After verbal warnings to clear out, police on a loudspeaker declared it a civil disturbance, then began firing flash grenades, pepper spray, and rubber bullets, pushing protesters back out of the street and out of the area. Even those on sidewalks who were trying to leave the area were pushed back physically. Rocks and bottles were thrown at officers. Protesters say that didn't happen until they were attacked by police. But the police chief says that's what caused officers to respond to the demonstrators.
Where's the accountability for the people that come with the intent to harm, destroy, and to tear things up, and to actually come and physically fight other people? And then we are called to break it up and say we don't want anything to happen. And if one side gets the shorter end of the stick for whatever reason, then we're accused of not protecting one side or the other.
She also says the Bureau is just starting its investigation into the violence involving police, and the Independent Police Review Board will examine whether the use of force was appropriate and within training guidelines. But already today, the Assistant Chief, Ryan Lee, did say they have suspended the use of what they call the aerial distracting devices that are supposed to be used to fire above the crowd. Instead, we saw them going right into the crowd. I'll have much more in this coming up tonight at 5. Live in downtown Portland, Lisa Balick, KOIN 6 News.
Okay, go ahead.